yeah, and this is something completely different from what you have seen up till now. I would like to propose a wild area, a wild meadow. You'll excuse the expression Purdue, but I am a Purdue Master Gardener intern, having taken their class over a couple of years ago. Had there been an Indiana University Master Gardener class, rest assured, I would have been here, but alas, there was not. So, what is such a thing? It is a garden with a lot of diversity, and it's diverse in species, it's diverse in shapes, and it will attract and shelter all sorts of critters, including some of the pests that you want to take away from the gardens that we have seen. The typical plants, many different typical plants, but some native species only. That's one of the cardinal rules. Yarrow, trumpet creeper, milkweed for the butterflies, etc. Ornamental grasses I like. Here's a couple of examples. Here's a Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center. Another one from the same place. A third from somewhere over abroad, Braco Castle. And then a fourth, which is a little out of focus. I apologize for that, but it is a portion of a wild meadow that I kind of like to see, with lots of color and lots of flowers and lots of blooming things and kind of a buzzing confusion with beetles and bees and butterflies and birds buzzing around. So what does it need? It needs, again, native plants with which wildlife has co-evolved, acreage, water. One of the things that I'm trying to incorporate is a water source. You'll see when you see the site. Time to mature. The progression of the rainforest has become kind of a joke in between my wife and I. Whenever we go to a national park or even Potato Creek, you'll see these interpretive signs that say the progression of this forest goes from this to this to this to this. But they do take time to mature, and they change over time. It needs biodiversity, starting with little teeny insects. So you need ways to feed the bugs. Shelter for birds and their young, for example, brush piles, which could be ultimately put into the installation. And the rationale, the benefits, habitats, replacements. We talked about lost habitats earlier today. Beauty in wildness, and that's for the artists among us. There is a profound aesthetic appreciation in wild spaces, which I believe cannot be found anywhere else in our built environment. I did not put in here educational benefits, but that is the obvious one at Indiana University. The classroom and other educational benefits they're just there. It can be too wild looking for the neighbors. It does take a while to mature, and it requires some maintenance to keep it under control. I have proposed a location, namely the grassy open field on the other side of the river. Those are the boundaries. That's what my take on the terrain is like. You'll see some pictures of it right now here. So many of you I think you should recognize where this is. We're talking about across the river. Those are apartment buildings. That's the river. This is the current Unity Garden over there in the little shed. And this is where I'm planting. There's a little pond just beyond this area. These are some reeds and that circle a pond. And I'm trying to incorporate the pond for the water to give the critters. How do we do it? Low maintenance perennials and shrubs, natives. You see some of them. I have some books here that I will refer to that have a lot more suggestions for the kind of plant material that is needed. Go ahead, sir. What's there now? Current uses, not much. We're going to be moving those raised beds over, and there's a dump for the plowed snow in the winter. Yuck. What has to be done? We need some permissions, we need measurements. It's obviously in no way is this idea as well developed as these ideas that you have seen earlier today, but we need to do some cleanup and replacement with the wild meadow and seeds and plants, get the material, get the labor, and some provide some initial protection from critters and from people. And there's some books. I have them with me actually. If anybody would like to see them, I think the most beneficial for me was the Wolosin. Attracting beneficial bugs to your garden seemed to be the most practical of all of those volumes. The others are kind of, they're okay. Thank you for your attention. I know this is overtime, but I do appreciate having been here.
Thank you.